Being a gardener means constantly making decisions: what to plant, when to sow, how to water, and more often than not, choosing between things that sound like they do the same job. One of the most heated debate is compost versus leaf mold. At first glance, they both look earthy and brown. They're both made from natural matter. They both promise to improve your soil. So, naturally, they're often used interchangeably in garden circles. But don't be fooled. These two organic amendments serve very different purposes, and choosing the right one can make or break your growing season. If you've ever found yourself caught in this debate, wondering which one to use in your raised bed or garden rows, you're in the right place. In today's guide, we're breaking down the key differences between compost and leaf mold. Not just the science behind them, but exactly when and how to use each to get the best results. By the end of this deep dive, you'll know exactly what your soil needs and how to give it the boost it deserves. So, what does leaf mold really do for your soil? Well, it works quietly beneath the surface, improving the earth in ways you might not even notice at first. Over time, it transforms your garden soil into a thriving, living foundation for plants to flourish. Leaf mold isn't fancy. It's nature's gift: decomposed leaves that are dark, crumbly, and subtly sweet in aroma. It forms over 6 months to 2 years as fungi break down carbon-rich leaf matter. What's that mean for you? Think of it as a spa treatment for your soil. When tilled in or used as mulch, leaf mold enhances soil texture like no other amendment. In lightweight sandy soils, it transforms gritty particles into a sponge-like mix that holds water without becoming compacted. In clayey beds, it loosens heavy soil like a natural tiller, which opens passageways for roots to explore and breathe. Consider raised beds packed full of coarse mix. A layer of leaf mold woven into the mix softens the texture, reduces sharp drainage, and creates an entrancing balanced moisture that roots can sip on, yet drains cleanly, avoiding soggy roots. It also increases the fungal life in your soil food web, a powerful catalyst for nutrient uptake in many perennials and shrubs. Plus, it's naturally acidic, ideal for blueberries, azaleas, and rhododendrons. Don't mix up pH adjustments with lime. Leaf mold gently leans your raised bed into the sweet spot for acid lovers. Use it fresh, no composting tea needed. Just a slow-release, structure-enhancing treasure. What compost brings to the soil table? If leaf mold is spa treatment, compost is a gourmet nutrient buffet. A balanced mixture of greens like kitchen scraps or fresh garden cuttings and browns like dry leaves or straw creates compost in just 3 to 6 months with regular turning and moisture control. Under the hood, a bustling microbial community transforms waste into life-giving nutrients: nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and a spectrum of micronutrients. When worked into soil before planting, compost is honestly the best slow-release fertilizer you'll meet, and it's one that continues to foster microbial life as it breaks down. Worms and bacteria absolutely love it, and they repurpose it into humus, further enriching your soil structure. Compost isn't just for your tomato vines. Go ahead and use it around pollinator blooms, root crops, container plantings, and new seedlings for a solid boost in nutrient stability. You can actually take compost a step further with compost tea. Just combine 2 cups of finished compost with 5 gallons of non-chlorinated water, stir it up vigorously, let it sit for about 24 hours, and then strain. That gives you living microbial life in a ready-to-feed solution. Perfect for foliar feeding or watering right at the root. Your plants will honestly thank you with richer color, fuller fruit, and really robust growth. When to choose leaf mold for your raised bed? Raised beds really thrive on structure and consistency. If the soil feels like, well, cookie dough, or your seedlings just wilt under inconsistent moisture, leaf mold is your solution. It's just perfect when your goal is to improve water retention in sandy mixes, loosen up compacted or heavy beds, raise organic matter to cushion those root zones, or even support acid-loving crops without messing around with the pH artificially. Leaf mold also, really excels as a top dress. Just spread a 2-inch layer across your raised bed surface each autumn, and let winter's freeze-thaw cycles do the hard work, integrating it into the bed naturally. By spring your soil will be soft and enriched without having to use a single shovel. When compost is the ideal feed. Compost is just honestly essential when your soil starts out as a blank slate or if it's leaning toward the nutrient-poor side. Gardeners who are nurturing vegetables, annuals, or even those rapid growth ornamentals will find compost to be the nutrient rockstar they really need. It delivers this balanced nutrition that supports both root and foliage development, brings in a living microbial community that enhances plant resilience, and, it also gives you a way to recycle kitchen scraps and garden debris. So, you'll want to add about 1 to 3 inches of compost to your raised garden before you start planting. Then, just work it gently into the top 6 inches of soil so, roots can access those nutrients right away. For continuous feeding, go ahead and apply a single-inch compost layer mid-season. Worms will absorb and recycle nutrients behind the scenes, which is pretty cool. And, for established plants in pots or smaller beds, compost tea acts like this silky, rich scalp treatment that really makes soil microbes dance. Combining leaf mold and compost for maximum impact. Why pick one when you can double your soil power? Leaf mold conditions soil physically, and compost builds soil fertility chemically and biologically. Together, they act in harmony. In newly built raised beds, mix equal parts native or bagged soil, compost, and leaf mold. This trifecta delivers retention, drainage, texture, and nutrients in one setup. For existing beds, top dress with leaf mold in autumn and lay compost in early spring, then use your fork to dribble it both into the soil and around plant bases. You get continual improvement in texture and nutrition across the seasons. Real-life raised bed examples. Last summer I planted a raised bed of indeterminate tomatoes. The soil had a mix of bagged compost and native topsoil, nutrient-rich but, a little dense. While transplanting I added a handful of leaf mold around each tomato base. By mid-July, the difference was clear. The soil absorbed more water without puddling, and the tomatoes set heavier leaves and larger fruit. The leaf mold really held moisture through those hot afternoons, and the compost kept blossoms feeding well. On the flip side, I had a container bed of annual herbs that just kept flopping in midsummer. The soil was dry and starting to bake under the sun, so I brewed compost tea using 2 cups of mature compost and watered each pot weekly. The herbs perked up within days. Leaves glossed, stems firmed, and they stayed robust even when the heat ramped up. Choosing based on plant needs is really what makes the difference in your garden's success. If your crop list features tomatoes, peppers, lettuce, annual herbs, or quick uptake ornamentals, compost should be your main follow-up amendment. For perennials, acid-loving shrubs, bulbs, and root vegetables, leaf mold shines, especially when integrated year-round for structure. Yet a dual amendment plan ensures nothing is lacking. Ease of production. Let's be real, we all lead busy lives. Compost demands more attention, regular turning, moisture checks, and layering materials. It's fast but requires commitment. Leaf mold, by contrast, is set it and forget it. Pile leaves, retain moisture, cover with shade cloth if you prefer tidy aesthetics, and return to clear, sweet-smelling leaf mold a year later. If you have more leaves than veggie scraps, let leaf mold take up your free time. When scraps accumulate fast, distribute them among compost piles. Many gardeners maintain both processes, balancing labor and output in harmony with seasonal work. Expert tips for raised bed success. Expect real growth, not fluff. Whether using leaf mold, compost, or both, these pro-level tips will elevate your results. Test soil every couple of years. If pH is off or nutrients low, you'll see it. Adjust accordingly before amendments. Keep a layer of mulch over compost amended soil using 2 to 3 inches of straw or shredded leaves to maintain moisture and temperature stability. Rotate leafy annuals with heavy feeder brassicas. Compost helps replenish what tomatoes draw and leaf mold maintains soil health. Let leaves decompose with periodic light watering. Overly dry leaves can be slow to break down, while overly wet ones can become smelly. Brew your compost tea freshly and use it within 24 hours to avoid pathogen breakouts. So, in the end, what really works best? Well, honestly, it all comes down to your personal preferences and the unique needs of your garden. There's no single right answer, and sometimes a little bit of experimentation is the best way to figure things out. Just remember to keep learning, stay curious, and enjoy the process. If you garden for flavorful homegrown produce in raised beds, compost is your foundation. It delivers the nutrients plants crave. If what you want is soil that breathes, drains, and retains just enough moisture, leaf mold is the structural maestro. Combined, they deliver magic. Compost fuels growth, leaf mold builds the canvas. In the language of Soil and Crop Central, embrace both. Build that raised bed with love. Lay your soil, fold in compost, meander in leaf mold. Your raised bed becomes an ecosystem alive, resilient, self-healing. Curious to see how your soil transforms? Start testing this fall with autumn leaf mold top dressing, then next spring blend in compost before planting. Document your raised bed glory. Share your before and after photos or compost tea recipes in the comments. Let's grow together.